This is the Lancer Locker Show on KYNT. Now, let's talk some Mount Marty University athletics with the coaches, as well as your host and the voice of Mount Marty University athletics, Tel Tanner.
Let's go to the Lancer Locker on this Monday. This is KYNT 102.1 FM AM 1450. On the show today, we're talking with a couple of student athletes from Mount Marty University and a couple of head coaches as well. We've got player interviews featuring Alexus Motley of Mount Marty women's basketball, a post-game player interview from Ryken of the men's basketball team, and then we've also got coach comments from both Colin Othier and Alan Bertram, the head coach in the men's and women's basketball programs, about those athletes. And then we're going to go into cross country as we had nationals for cross country. So we're going to finish up the show with that. That gets our feature spot tonight with the head coach of the Lancers in Dan Fitzsimmons. I spoke with him earlier today on the phone about the performances of Logan Ferrari and Joseph Cross at the national meet for men's indoor cross country. Track and field season is starting as well. We talked all about that and the upcoming home meets in January. My name is Tel Tanner. This is the Lancer Locker on KYNT. We got a lot to go over. We'll talk a little bit of a recap of what happened in the last couple days. Obviously, we had the cross-country championships. We had them. Lancers were able to have some pretty good finishes, a couple of PRs for their two guys. And then we'll talk with the coach about it a little bit more. He's got more information coming up in a little bit. Now we'll talk basketball teams for a moment. Both teams were over in Forest City, Iowa on Saturday. The Lancer women did take the loss 69-67. Only 2 points was the final score. In terms of some of the player performances for the Lancers, Stevie Fallis ended up with 13 points in the ball game. Sydney Thuy ended up with a 12-point, 13 rebound double-double, and Kayla Martinez had 12 points with 5 assists, and finally Sina Bang had 11 points as well as 6 rebounds. Those were the 4 Lancers in double figures. Mount Marty did take the 2-point loss, but they look to rebound against Hastings tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, 5:30 p.m. in the Simple Arena. We've got coverage of that contest starting 4:45. Now let's go to men's basketball. They got the win over Waldorf. They beat Midland on Wednesday, Waldorf on Saturday. The Lancers win 2 road contests in a row before returning home. They'll be playing Hastings after the women's game tomorrow evening. We've still got coverage. In the game versus Waldorf, 71-67, a final. Tash Lunday with a 30-point, 10-rebound double-double. 30 points, 10 rebounds for Tash. Ryken, a new career high for him. He had 16 points, 3 rebounds with an assist in there as well. But the 3 steals were the story. He ended up sealing the game for the Lancers. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show, along with talking with Ryken. Jared Lopez also added 13 points and 3 rebounds as well. Those were the Lancers in double figures. They got the win 71-67 over Waldorf. Let's go ahead and take a break here on the Lancer Locker now. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll start things off with women's basketball and Alexus Motley. Then we'll go to Ryken, Colin Othier, take another break, come back with cross country, the head coach of the program in Dan Fitzsimmons. That's the Locker coming up today. All coming up after this. You're listening to Mount Marty Lancer Athletics on the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
A big thank you from Mount Marty University to one of Yankton's greatest employers and friend of the community, Aztec. They're very proud to support the Mount Marty Lancers. The vision at Aztec is to build industry-changing solutions that create life-changing opportunities. And you can build a career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Click careers at aztecindustries.com. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
What is Agility Plus? It's the new Medicare supplement Plan G coverage from Avera Health Plans that gives you more.
More benefits at a lower cost.
More comprehensive coverage like physicals plus heart, vascular, and hearing screenings.
That's the Avera Health Plan's new Medicare supplement Agility Plus Plan G. Contact your local agent or request a quote online. AveraHealthPlans.com/Medicare. Network restrictions apply with select plans. A Plan G policy may not cover all of your medical expenses. Neither Avera Health Plans nor its agents are connected with Medicare or state or federal government.
Thanksgiving is when families come together to create memories, share stories, and enjoy the best of the season. This year, bring something bold to the table. Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. Its rich, complex flavors, aged to perfection, make it the perfect complement to your Thanksgiving feast. Whether you're raising a glass to the past or savoring the moment, this is the stout for every toast and every memory. Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, crafted for family, friends, and unforgettable gatherings.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker. My name is Tel Tanner. Let's talk Mount Marty women's basketball first, then we'll go to men's basketball, and then we'll go to cross country and track and field with Dan Fitzsimmons here in a little bit. So we'll start off women's basketball. They are 6-3 on the season. They have another game coming up tomorrow in Yankton versus Hastings College. Lancers did take the loss in Forest City by only 2 points to Waldorf, 69-67 on Saturday. We were able to speak with one of their players in Alexus Motley before the game, kind of get a little bit of a profile on her, talk about her journey and everything in between. Here's some of that conversation with Alexus Motley from last Friday. And then some coach comments. We spoke with the head coach of the Lancers in Alan Bertram, his comments about her as a player. Those coming up right now on the Lancer Locker. But first of all, tell me how college is going. You're a year and a half in. How is Yankton treating you?
I actually like it a lot down here. I'm originally from Sioux Falls, so it's not much different from home, but a lot smaller. But it brings a lot calmer aspect to it.
You went to Washington, right?
Yes.
Sioux Falls, Washington. Tell me about that, playing at Washington and now coming to Mount Marty.
I really enjoyed playing at Washington. We were a good program. We won a lot of games. I have 2 championships under that program, and just the people surrounding that community were really well. Like, I got to play with like Sydney Shetnan, who played at Louisville, and then also like Jacqueline Muinatana, who's at Texas right now.
It's a very good program. And now you're at Mount Marty University. Can you tell me about the Lancers and why you wanted to come to Yankton?
So originally when I first started talking to Bertram, I was out injured because I had a torn ACL, and I really didn't think I was going to go anywhere just because of that injury, but Bertram was one of the only coaches that really stuck it out and stuck with me through my journey and wanted me to play and get back, and he was really one of the only coaches that supported me through that process.
Tell me about the process of coming back from injury. You said you tore your ACL. What was that like? How long did it take you to get back on the court?
So it happened my junior year, closer to the end of my junior year. And at first we didn't know I tore it, so I just kept going about my athletic activities, but sooner or later we got checked out, and it was really devastating because I was running track at the same time too, and I ended up having to miss state, but it was a long recovery. I went through like Avera. It was a really good program. They helped me get back within like 6.5 to 7 months.
Oh, that's pretty good for a torn ACL.
I really wanted to push myself to get back in time for the basketball season, just because I knew it was another season where we could win state again, and we did, which was awesome.
So you're 3 semesters in, almost 3 full semesters into college. Tell me about college life itself, living in the dorms, having to adjust to being kind of your own person. You're out of your family's house. What's that been like for you?
It's a lot different. I am the youngest in my family, so I'm like the baby that gets everything, but being at Mount Marty, I have to do everything for myself, which is actually kind of nice, growing some independency, but my roommates are awesome. It's 4 of us in the suites, and we all have our own room, so we have our own space, but we're always hanging out in the living room watching movies or just like laughing about the stupidest things. And especially like having that basketball community, we're always hanging out, whether it's like basketball practice or outside. You're never really by yourself. There's always someone to talk to, which is really nice.
And now we'll go to our pregame coach interview content from Alan Bertram as he spoke to us about this player in Alexus Motley. Head coach Alan Bertram of the Mount Marty women's basketball program now in the booth. Coach, before we get into Waldorf, I got to ask you about Alexus Motley. We spoke with her in the pregame just give me a little bit about this player.
Just a great kid from Sioux Falls, Washington.
sophomore for us. Last year really kind of got her feet wet a little bit, had a little bit of varsity experience a year ago for us, but really just dove into the things she needed to get better at, and has dramatically improved from a year ago, and is now one of our main stalwarts. She's had a great year so far, averaging about 9 a game for us, and extremely athletic kid, but just a great lighthearted young lady.
Thank you to Coach Bertram. Thank you to Alexus Motley for coming in and talking with me this last Friday. We're going to do plenty of player interviews throughout the season, and I'm actually hoping to talk with her again at some point as well. We're going to go ahead and take a break now on the Lancer Locker. We'll come back with men's basketball, speaking with Mac Ryken post-game on Saturday, and the head coach of the program in Colin Othier. Back in a couple of minutes. You're listening to the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
Ben is in a sticky situation.
I got so excited for my fresh-baked Runza cinnamon rolls that I forgot to grab a napkin.
Now you got cinnamon roll fingers, and they're so ooey.
And gooey. I can't grab a spoon to dig into my delicious homemade chili.
Maybe you should call for help?
Oh, I'll call my mom. Oh, I've ruined my phone.
Worth it, though. Come get Runza's homemade chili, fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, and a napkin today. Because Runza makes it all better.
Runza on Broadway by Menards in Yankton.
This is Jenny from Slumberland Furniture in Yankton. Looking for a refresh in your home? Want to change up your space? Take advantage of our free interior design service. We can help reimagine your room using new pieces that will work with what you currently have. At Slumberland, you'll find the best brand name furniture and quality mattresses with the best customer service possible. See us at 2401 Broadway in Yankton.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
Attention homeowners, if you've been on the fence about selling, I'd love the opportunity to sit and visit with you. With low inventory, now would be a good time to call me, Deb Speck at Vision Real Estate. I'll provide you with a free market analysis and a no-pressure approach. Call me at 605-664-5555 to find out if now is the right time to make a move.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker on KYNT. This is 102.1 FM AM 1450. Let's talk men's basketball now here on the Lancer Locker. Coming up next, we'll talk cross country with the head coach of the program, and Dan Fitzsimmons. They had 2 qualifiers at the national meet that happened over the weekend in Joseph Cross and Logan Ferrari. We'll talk about their performances up next. First, let's talk about the men's basketball team and what they were just able to do versus Waldorf. This men's basketball team was able to get the win in Forest City on Saturday, 71-67. It came down to it in the final moments. Lancers made some mistakes late. Waldorf was able to get back in the game, but clutch free throws and great defense were able to give the Lancers the win. Tash Lunday ended up with a 30-point, 10-rebound double-double. Mac Ryken, a new career high for the sophomore, 16 points, had 3 steals, an assist, as well as 3 rebounds. But those 3 steals were clutch. Mac Ryken had the final steal of the game. Waldorf down 4. They needed to get down the floor and score quick, fast, and in a hurry. Mac Ryken able to steal the ball as they move in transition, and that ended the ball game. Mac Ryken and Coach Othier joined me post-game to talk about that performance and everything that happened in the game itself. Mac Ryken came up, and it was really cool because I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it at all. We had actually talked pregame about how we weren't going to do an interview specifically at Waldorf because of literally where I was sitting. I was sitting up in the rafters. You actually had to climb a ladder to come get to where I was calling the game, get into this little cubby to find me. And we had decided we weren't going to do it, but then Mac just played so well in the game that Coach Othier decided that they're going to climb up this ladder and come talk with me, which I thought was pretty cool. It was not part of the plan. We had a 4.5-hour drive that we needed to get on the bus and get rolling for. So we got post-game comments from Coach Othier coming up too, but we didn't spend a lot of time talking with Coach Othier because we needed to get on the road, and they had to climb up and down a ladder to get to me. But anyways, here's post-game comments from Mac Ryken and then the head coach of the program in Colin Othier.
Well, I didn't expect to see you, but I'm glad to see you. A new career high for you, and as a Lancer with 16 points in the ball game and the final steal, plus those clutch free throws. Walk me through the final couple of minutes and what your coach was telling you and what was kind of going through your head in the final moments.
Sit down, play defense. They're a good team. They were making shots all night, so we were doing fine on offense. We just had to sit down and get stops like we normally do, and then knocking some free throws.
With the free throw line, you guys have been good at that all season long. Tell me about the process of getting good at free throws throughout the season. How often are you guys practicing?
I shoot them every day. I mean, that's what you should be doing anyways, but get in there over lunch, get in there after practice we shoot them, and then...
You got a number of how many you take a day?
No.
No? Just as many as you can get in?
Try to shoot a lot, and then feed the ball to Tash, let him shoot the free throws.
Tash Lunday, got to ask you about him. 30-point, 10-rebound, double-double for him today. Only 3 away from his career high. I was wondering if he was going to hit that there for a moment. What can you tell me about him and his work ethic?
He's an animal. There's not much else to say. He's not the biggest guy, but he knows how to use his body, use his shoulders, gets to the line every time, knocks some free throws, and scores 30 a game. There's not much else you can ask for out of a guy. Hits tough threes all the time.
Finally, let's talk about the family affair as you and Rugby flying down the court in a fast break, play and catch, and finally you finish it, you get the and one. That had to feel cool, and it's special not just because it was you, but a family member as well.
I mean, yeah, we've been playing basketball since kindergarten, going to Vermilion. I mean, Pauline sent us a text message today of we won some Brandon Valley basketball tournament 11 years ago today. So I was always playing basketball to each other, and I threw it to him, and he threw it right back, went for a layup, and he was more excited than I was, I think. So, yeah.
It was more, he might have been, honestly. He was fired up there. And then another one he threw to Akon in that Duncan transition. That was
throw
fun.
And a heck of a catch.
Let's talk about the upcoming schedule. You've got Hastings on Tuesday. We've got a long bus ride back today. So what's going to be like your recovery tomorrow and Monday getting ready for Hastings?
Same old, another game. Next game. Get back tonight, rest up tomorrow, get back in the gym, and hard practice and beat him at home.
And then it's Thanksgiving. Obviously, you guys are from Yankton, so you don't have to go too far to see family. What are some of the plans for Thanksgiving?
Head over to CA's house at 1 o'clock, eat some food. Head over to my house in the evening, eat some food, eat a lot of food, and then practice that morning, and then practice again. Back to it.
They're going to make you run off that turkey on Friday.
I guess so.
That's going to be interesting. Well, Matt, congratulations on the win today. That final steal definitely was something special with the free throws. Congrats.
Thank you.
That brought to you by Lewis and Clark Ford, a proud sponsor of Mount Marty Athletics. Visit them at 4th and Capitol in Yankton or at lewisandclarkford.com. Be careful on that ladder. All right, we got Coach Othier now joining us. This brought to you today by Rise Fuel. Give you the power to push harder, go faster, and perform better. Fuel your ambition and unleash your potential with Rise Fuel. Coach Othier, first things first, tell me about Mac Ryken.
Yeah, I want to go quick. The only reason why we came up here is because for Mac.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. What an EGB guy. What a little spark plug that he did. He did what he was supposed to in that first half. Got over ball screens, caused 2 offensive fouls because of hustle plays. Was just a consistent energy-generating behavior guy. And then obviously on the other end, just took advantage and doing things that, man, people from Yankton have been seeing for such a long time. It's awesome to see him on the floor. He's worked so hard. He's earned everything he's gotten, and just very, very proud of him. It's the only reason why we want to come up and do a post game with you, because I want him to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. When it comes to the upcoming schedule, as we're in the spirit of moving quickly here because we got a 4.5-hour drive, tell me about Hastings.
Yeah, all I know is they won our league last year. I know that Todd's a very, very good coach. I think their personnel is a little bit different. They're trying to find their way. They run about 422 different sets and actions and counters that they have off of it for guys to get shots for them. But that's about it. I watched, obviously, their game against Waldorf, and they're good. They're well coached. They're going to play extremely hard. And like I told the guys in the locker room, now we have targets on our back. We've worked hard to get to where we are, but now we got to understand the responsibility that we have in terms of our toughness and our discipline every single day and how we have to work. And so Hastings will be ready. It's a game that they know that they want to come in on the road right before Thanksgiving and see if they can catch us sleeping a little bit and preparing for the holidays before the holidays get here, and that can't happen. And we're going to do everything we can to prevent that from happening.
Coach, you win your last 2 in a row. Now we got a long road trip that makes those trips a little easier.
Can't wait to get on that road, get going, and getting back in Yankton. Appreciate it. What a crowd, by the way. I told when you can hear us in the gym more than you can hear them. I thought that was awesome. It was cool to see the crowd and the people here cheering on the Lancers, and I'm sure a lot back home as well. So appreciate all the support.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Once again, thanks to those two for climbing a ladder to come talk with me before a 4.5-hour bus drive over in Forest City. Lancer men get the win, and they keep rolling against Hastings tomorrow. We've got coverage of that one tomorrow evening. We'll talk about it again here in a little bit, but first let's take a break. We'll come back in a couple of minutes. We've got the head coach of the Mount Marty Cross Country Track and Field Program. I spoke with him earlier today on the phone, in Dan Fitzsimmons, talking about Joseph Cross and Logan Ferrari at the national meet for cross country. That coming up in a couple of minutes. This is the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
Get ready to spice up those family gatherings this holiday season with Carbliss. With a variety of flavors like black cherry, margarita, cranberry, black raspberry, or mojito, there's a flavor for everyone. Carbliss isn't a malt beverage. It's mixed with premium vodka, rum, or tequila with no carbs or sugar. Embrace the joy. Savor the bliss. Open up some seriously delicious holiday moments, and cheers to endless fun and endless joy. Choose Carbliss, handcrafted premium cocktails this holiday season.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
It's game time, Yankton, and just like championship teams, Lewis and Clark Ford delivers in the clutch. We have a great selection of brand new Fords and are ready to score big for you. Looking for a game-winning drive? We also have a lot full of pre-owned vehicles with a variety of makes and models all ready to suit up for you. See our complete roster at lewisandclarkford.com or stop by our playing field, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker, my name is Tel Tanner. Now let's go ahead and talk about national qualifiers and their performances in cross country as we talk with the head coach of the Mount Marty Cross Country and Track and Field program, as we're getting closer to that now. Coach Daniel Fitzsimmons, first of all, Coach, thank you for joining me short notice on a phone call here today. Tell me about the weekend and the performance at the national meet.
Well, it was an exciting weekend. Course conditions were a little muddy. The course had to have a little sod put on it in places, but nevertheless it ran fast, and both of our athletes competed very well and both had career bests for 8,000 meters.
And that was Logan Ferrari and Joseph Cross as the two. Can we talk about each of them individually and their performances at this national championship here? We'll start off with the upperclassman, Logan Ferrari. Tell me about his performance and this guy in general.
Well, it's been an interesting last month. Logan hasn't been feeling the best, and he had a strong conference finish, but I'm sure he wanted to perform a little bit better, but he at least got qualified for nationals. And then we discovered he has two infected wisdom teeth, so he'll be getting those pulled out later this week. So we got him some antibiotic and kind of held off some of the pain, and he was able to continue training and get through this weekend and wound up finishing 64th and became the first Lancer to ever break 25 minutes for 8,000 meters with his time of 24:56.2. which just finished about 16 seconds away from the final All-American spot.
Let's go to Joseph Cross now. Tell me about this young man and his performance.
Well, Joe's been consistent all year. At the GPAC meet, he He got off to a little bit of a slow start, not necessarily by time, but by place, and then rolled his way right into national qualifying contention late in the meet, or late in the race. Qualifies for nationals, then goes on to nationals and runs 25:30, which was a 20-second PR for him.
And Coach, with that, now we go into track and field season. Now you get into, obviously, track and field season really never ends. You got cross country in the fall, indoor track and field coming up with your first meet, I believe, December 6th in the SDSU Holiday Open, and then outdoor right after that. Tell me about the recovery time for some of these cross country athletes and the switch going to indoor season.
Well, it's a little different for each athlete. Some of the athletes feel really good and would like to train through these first two meets and then take a break over the holidays. Others have taken somewhat little breaks here leading into these two meets. So it's a little bit different for everyone. Naturally, our fall track kids have been training all fall for this, so they're ready to go and had a time trial last week, and a very successful time trial. So they'll be anxious to compete in those first two meets. But for the distance kids, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, just coming off of the conference meet, now nationals, then we go to Thanksgiving, then we come back, and in a short amount of time, we're going into finals week. So we'll kind of play it by ear, see how each one of them are feeling. But like I said, some of them would like to run because they feel like they're in great shape, and they'd like to see how that translates onto the track.
Let's talk about the upcoming schedule starting in January. You've got 3 indoor track and field meets coming up within the span of a month, starting obviously on January 11th with the Mount Marty Opener, the MMU Invitational Multis, 17th and 18th, and then the last chance on the 7th. What goes into putting these on? Obviously, you've got some great facilities with the Dakota Fieldhouse, but tell me about the volunteers, the timers, your own athletes putting in extra hours to make all these meets happen.
Well, it takes a lot of time and energy. I think most coaches will tell you hosting is not as easy as traveling. Because while you're hosting, you're still the meet director, you're still putting out fires, you're making sure you have workers. You don't get to do very much coaching, where when you travel, outside of making the arrangements to travel, once you get to the meet, it's all about coaching. On the same token, it's really nice to have your athletes sleep in their own bed, kind of keep their own routine, not have to sit on a bus for 3 or 4 hours, and just roll out of the dorm, get warmed up, and compete. So we certainly love hosting. We were going to only have 2 meets, but Wayne State was going to host the early meet, and we were going to head there, but their facility wasn't quite finished, so we said we would host, and so now we've got 3 meets on the schedule, but we're excited about it because it allows us to train a little bit. If we were traveling, we'd probably lose 1 day of practice.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Congrats to both Logan Ferrari and Joseph Cross and making it to the national meet and having some pretty good performances, as it sounds. Good luck in the indoor season. Thanks for talking to me today.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you.
The Dakota Theater in Yankton is always in need of volunteers. There's something for everyone, such as being involved with shows on or off stage, selling concessions, greeting, ushering, cleaning before and after, cleaning the bathrooms, organizing, helping with the lights, the sound, the costumes, decorating, and more. The Dakota Theater in Yankton is so grateful for every volunteer. Theaters for everyone. For more information, go to dakotatheater.org or call 665-4711.
Quit hitting the snooze button on your new career. Wake up to recently increased wages, day one benefits, and an employer who puts you first. Grind through the workday in your own specialty. Assembler, machine operator, material handler, or line operation tech. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $2.35. Choose your shift and enjoy day one benefits. This isn't just a job, it's your future. Join us today. Find more information and apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Everyone loves something different about our buffet, which is good because buffet has something for everyone. This is Annie from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Come in and fill your plate with good food that makes you feel good inside. Don't see your favorite pizza on the buffet? Request it using Buffet Your Way. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the very first slice. Grab the country's best chicken paired with tasty sides and finish off with sweet cactus bread at Yankton Pizza Ranch.
Did you know Sherco offers more than egg tarps? As an industry leader in construction, waste, and flatbed tarping systems, Sherco offers manual and electric tarp systems for not only grain trailers and grain carts, but also side dumps, end dumps, belly dumps, roll-offs, flatbeds, and more. To learn more, give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best, demand Sherco.
Well, a packed show today. I tell you what, there were comments from 3 different coaches and 2 different athletes for Mount Marty University. Thank you to everybody involved, from Alexus Motley to Mac Ryken to Alan Bertram to Colin Othier to Dan Fitzsimmons. Those 5 people, very special people at the Lancers, and I appreciate all of them having the time to talk with me so that I can then bring it to you, the viewers of Mount Marty Athletics. That's going to do it for our show today. We'll remind you, coming up tomorrow, we've got coverage of Lancer basketball starting at 4:45, I believe is when we're going to go live for that one. 5:30 tip-off in the Simple Arena in Yankton. 5:30 will be the tip-off. Hastings versus Mount Marty University. Men's, women's basketball. Women play first in the doubleheader. That'll do it for us today. Thank you all for listening to the Lancer Locker. Hope you have an amazing evening. We're going to be talking with you again after the holiday break. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure you run off that turkey afterwards. We'll see you next week.